Hi there. Welcome to GC 365. I am Stacy Philpott. I'm the family pastor here. And today I am with my good friend, Nigel.
Hello, everyone.
Nigel used to be on staff here, but then you left us.
Yeah.
For bigger and better things.
New opportunities,
Yes. He was one of our greatest sound guys. In fact, when he sat down, you totally just started inspecting the mics. Are these good?
Yes, they're very good.
Okay, good.
I'm not going to name drop the company I work for, but yes, they're very good.
Okay.
And we do sell them.
Did we get them from you?
Probably.
Okay, good.
Probably not.
We are on day 217, which I did a little bit of math, which means we only have 148 days left.
That's
right?
actually, that's not a lot.
Yeah. So stick with it. And if you're just starting, then don't feel like you have to go back. Just move forward with us. So today's reading, in Old Testament, we are in Ezra, chapter 1 and 2. And the exiles are all returning to Jerusalem. And we get to hear about all of the family names and everything that they brought with them, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah. A lot of kitchenware.
Yes.
Mind you.
Yes. In fact, gold basins, silver basins, it lists everything. Here's my question that I wrote down from this. After the whole list, and it says how many, the other items, 1,000. What do you think the other items were?
I would assume clothing. I would assume bathroom stuff, Well,
and they're traveling like by foot, by camel, by donkey. Like they can't, I'm thinking all of their items have to fit within their knapsack bags.
On top of the donkey.
Right.
So
probably not a lot of furniture.
Probably not. I know they've used to stack a lot of stuff on those animals as they were traveling. So, it could have been anything from shoes, clothing, like I said, toiletry wear if they had it back then.
Okay, so gold basins and silver basins. I have no idea. Like how big are these basins? Are you thinking?
I would assume they're not that big because they do have to travel with it, I'm guessing. But probably I would assume just like your average size plate,
right?
Basin,
right?
Bowl, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
No, I would agree. So yeah, I just was like, what the heck are the other items? In Ezra 2, they start listing all of the people that are returning, all of the families. But there's a couple things that stood out to me. So they're telling us the number of men of Israel who returned from exile.
Mm-hmm.
So for one, and as we know in other, like even in the New Testament, when they mention numbers, that truly is just the men. They don't number the women and children.
Yes.
So now that wouldn't be okay. We would definitely be numbered.
That'd be very, very not good.
Yes.
Today in 2021.
Yeah. I know your wife wouldn't put up with that. And your daughter, he has 2 of the most beautiful children ever. And your daughter's pretty strong-willed already, wouldn't you say?
She's just like her dad. Yes. Very strong-willed.
And so I noticed a couple numbers here. So it was the family of, how would you pronounce this? Adenaka?
See, you had the same problem I did of like reading through and trying to pronounce all the names.
Right.
I want to say Adin. My wife's going to make fun of me because I'm not good at pronouncing names. I can barely pronounce my mother's name. Adinaka? Narka?
Something.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's my concern. Their family number was 666.
Right.
That's not a great, biblical number.
No, it's not.
I might have another child just to make it 667.
Right. Well, and let's keep in mind 666 people in a family is big.
Well, that was one of the smaller ones.
I know.
The family of Big Vi, they
sounds
had
like a neighbor.
2,056. But my other one was the people of Bethlehem had 123.
Mm-hmm.
That stood out to me. That's my favorite number because my birthday is January 23rd, 123. Yes.
Take note, people.
Here's the other thing that maybe you know why. I didn't understand this. Some people are listed the family of such and such, such as the family of Goodridge,
right?
Or excuse me, the people of. So then there's the people of Bethlehem or the citizens of.
Mm-hmm. I know. What's the difference between the people of and the citizens of?
Exactly.
I would think named and unnamed. I don't know.
Well, and then later it mentioned that people would show up and they couldn't prove that they were descendants of the Israelites. And so they were still allowed to come back, but they couldn't be priests, or they weren't descendants of the Levites, and they couldn't. It was just very interesting. Like, wow, the process. Or they tried finding their name in the scrolls and they couldn't. So, okay, you could still come, but you're not going to have this role that you thought you had. That would be discouraging.
Yeah. And I'm sure census took big precedence into that, because, keeping track of people in a city is hard enough. Back then, they didn't really have a real good way of doing it. So maybe that's why there was the people of, and then the citizens of, like the people who were registered and then the people who weren't registered. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then the family of, and it was interesting to me. Oh, and then also one that stood out was the singers of the family of Asaph. And I thought, oh, do only the singers of that family get to go? Because if that was the case with mine, I do sing, but not well, which is why I sing in kids.
Oh, give yourself more credit.
It's all a joyful noise for Jesus.
There you go.
But I don't know that I would have made the cut to be listed as one of the singers of this family. Yeah,
because I would think that would mean the family is like, these are our singers. Versus if you're a bad singer, it's like, yeah, that's not our singer.
Right. Well, maybe.
I don't know.
And then the gatekeepers as well. The gatekeepers of I thought, So it was just interesting to me how they listed everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Heading into our New Testament reading, we've got 1 Corinthians. We've got a couple of passages there, 1 Corinthians 1 and 2. And it talks about how the message of the cross is foolish to those who are headed for destruction. And then goes on to say that basically there are those that the world considers so wise and so intelligent, but God uses those that the world considers to be foolish, and those that the world considers to be weak. And I very much believe that I have been called to ministry my life, and I'm always honored, like, why would God choose me? But then I think, does that mean that the world considers, was I looked at like a fool?
To some people, yeah, probably. I mean, it's not a new thing that a lot of Christians are looked at as fools for believing in something that you can't see or can't touch. So
and your wife is on staff here, and she is incredibly smart, and she teaches our Accelerate, our leadership course and stuff. And I know that she has been called to the ministry, and I can't even imagine that anybody would look to her and think that she's foolish, So it was just interesting to me. And I do believe that we have seen so many times where God uses somebody that even we're surprised at here at church, that we see somebody rise up to a level of leadership that we didn't even expect. And the only reason for it is God.
Yeah, so, absolutely. I'm probably one of those.
Oh, well, I came to know you when you were already doing quite a bit of things here. So I always kind of look to you to have quite a bit of knowledge.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is on tape too. Thank you.
Nigel is very missed around here. And so it's been nice when you actually get to grace us with your presence working in the lobby, but I don't know how much work you're actually able to get done.
Oh, I get done quite a few things.
Okay. In Psalms, it's another Psalm of David. I love the Psalms, and he really is just continuing to say, don't turn your back on me. I know I've messed up. Don't reject me. You've always been my helper. Don't leave me. Don't abandon me. I have so had those conversations with God.
Oh, absolutely. It seems like every morning you're thinking like, oh, is he still listening? Kind of a thing.
Well, and when I go to bed at night, tomorrow is always going to be the best day of the rest of my life. Like tomorrow, I'm going to do it right. Tomorrow, I'm going to be a better leader. Tomorrow, I'm going to be a better wife, a better mom. And then couple hours,
and then that all goes away in the trash because it's like, oh, maybe not. But
well, and you've got little kids, so your patience is getting tested a lot earlier in the morning than mine is with adult kids.
Yeah, and I think that's God testing me as well, testing the patience of like a child who does everything in her power to not go to sleep. So I mean, I'm sure that's just God saying, I'm still here, but here, you can deal with that.
Yeah. Enjoy this.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, on as little sleep as possible. I don't miss those days. In Proverbs, we've got, don't say, I will get even for this wrong. Wait for the Lord to handle the matter. The Lord detests double standards. He is not pleased by dishonest scales. I love how we just get all of this wrapped up in this great pearl of wisdom with Proverbs. And there have been times in my life I really did want revenge. And I read recently in a devotional saying revenge is kind of a double hurt because you're not just hurting the person you're trying to get revenge on, you're also hurting yourself. And I have experienced that firsthand. But then there's been times when I read the Psalms and they talk about the wrath of God. And I think, oh, okay, I don't want that. And God does truly see all. And he's probably inflicting the wrath on whoever I am frustrated with in time more than I would ever want to.
Yeah, probably. You see God as two things. You see the wrathful God, but you also see the God of grace. So, I mean, it's crazy to think like, yeah, I want to get revenge on that person. Just thinking out of anger and whatever.
Yeah.
But again, you're right. It does kind of hurt both and probably even God. I mean, just depending on the situation. So, I mean, yeah, it's difficult to like just thinking in that mindset of wanting revenge, but also doing damage to yourself.
Right. And saying or doing something that you regret.
Right.
I've had a couple of those moments in my life.
I have to. I think we all have.
Yes. So, all right. That's all I've got. Anything else that stood out to you from the reading?
I'm just on the names.
Yeah.
I'm just on how big families were back then and how many kids were running around in one family. Like you're talking 666 kids or 1,200 kids or people. And it's like.
And you've got two.
And I got two and I can barely get to sleep. And I know my wife's watching this is like, no, I can barely get to sleep. But yeah, it's just, just how far we've come from the times back then it's always mind blowing to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, how they travel, how they
packed all their stuff,
the organization of all of it,
yeah,
of just even keeping track of all of the families checking in, and then again in New Testament, God's grace. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, stay with it. Thank you for joining us again today, and yeah, we're way past the half point line, so I'm encouraged by that. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.